It's your turn.
Considering Joey Wheeler is a beginner at this point in time, why would Yugi be pressuring him to make his move immediately? If he's that impatient, he would be annoying to play chess with.
Isn't he cute when he's thinking?
After being so used to hearing the second voice actor for Tristan Taylor, hearing the original feels weird. That, and I can only think about his voice giving him super strength. Shout out Little Karibo.
They've been at it for hours.
This school apparently allows students several hours of break in between classes. Boy, that place is gonna get shut down soon.
It's time to duel.
It's time to duel now? Wait, is that why Yugi asked Joey if he was in there? They spent the last few hours waiting for Joey to make a move?
First player to eliminate their opponent's life points wins the duel.
It's as if Taya knows that they're being watched by millions of viewers. Otherwise, why is she only now explaining the rules of Duel Monsters? She the female Deadpool or something?
Your own game shop. Let's go.
This is the most unobservant school I've ever seen. Allows these two students to play Duel Monsters for hours and then skive off school anytime they please.
It's the super rare card he's got.
Could they have found the card that I've been searching for?
Seto Kaiba overhears Yugi mentioning a super rare card and instantly figures it's the Blue Eyes White Dragon. For his luck, he was correct. But you mean to tell me that the Blue Eyes is the only super rare card at this point in time? Also, Kaiba goes to the school despite being a super rich billionaire who owns his own company. How does he even have the time for this? We never see him again at the school, so plot convenience? Just a heads up, there's gonna be a lot of that throughout the series.
I never let it leave my hands.
Except when you keep it in a box.
Doesn't look all that special to me.
Considering Tristan has hardly even heard of Duel Monsters, wouldn't seeing an 8-star monster with 3,000 attack points look like the most powerful card he's ever seen? Unless he somehow saw more powerful cards from Yugi in the short time he's known him.
Doesn't he have a big fancy company to run? What's he doing down here?
I asked that very same question when he was at the school earlier.
I am the #1 ranked duelist in the country.
Boy, Kaiba does anything but run his own company. Has all the time in the world to be the #1 ranked duelist and go to public school. No wonder his employees plot ways to kill him all the time.
Whoa!
Considering Kaiba has done so much with the Duel Monsters game, how is it a shock that he has an entire briefcase full of rare cards?
This card was given to me by a dear friend.
I tell you who that friend is and why, but I figure we should add filler episodes later on when the season truly ended. By that point, you will have completely forgot about this whole thing.
You will come with us now.
Forcing to duel against your will. And also, why doesn't Solomon just threaten to call the police if these guys don't leave? Sure, Kaiba Corp is a billion-dollar company, but even they are not above the law.
What have you done, Kaiba?
And why weren't you at school today? Now, obviously, I'd say the trauma of seeing the lifelike holograms of Duel Monsters put Solomon into submission, but considering he dueled Kaiba even despite seeing that, my only explanation is Kaiba had his guards beat him down afterward, because this is not the dueling arena. Kaiba wanted to make sure he was the only one possessing a Blue Eyes White Dragon card, but instead of tearing up the fourth one, why didn't he just hang on to it and store it in a secure location? That way, he can be the proud owner of every Blue Eyes card in existence and add a fourth head to the Ultimate Dragon or something.
Yugi, here. Take this.
This is getting a little too overdramatic, wouldn't you say?
Take my cards and teach him respect.
I used this deck and failed to beat Kaiba, so instead of you using your own, you should use mine to add more tension to your chances.
While you and I duel.
Now this sets up for Kaiba losing a duel for the first time in his life, but what's his motivation? His goal was to find and destroy the fourth Blue Eyes White Dragon card, so what would beating Yugi do for him?
You're like the best player I've ever seen, and you've got the Millennium Puzzle.
The Millennium Puzzle was one of the most important items in this series, but at this point in time, all it is to the eyes of the main characters is a necklace. Does Joey already know about the ancient pharaoh who resides in it? Because Yugi doesn't at this point.
Put your hands together, and I'll mark us with a
Yugi's grandpa needs medical attention and Kaiba awaits a duel with Yugi, but we somehow have time to draw the smiley face on our hands.
Why don't you get back in there and cheer Yugi on?
You couldn't have told me that before we went back down the freaking elevator?
We each begin with 2,000 life points.
I'm surprised Yugi didn't respond with, yeah, I know how the game works, I'm like an expert here. Obviously, this is exposition for the audience, but it really should have been said by Taya earlier in the first scene when she was explaining the rules. So, did Kaiba suddenly see the Millennium Puzzle activate in this whole transformation sequence? Yeah, it doesn't matter how many years I've watched this series, that original transformation sequence always gets me, taking 3 sins off.
What the?
Let's just say Kaiba didn't actually see the unveiling of the Pharaoh. Considering the distance between these two, how does he notice a difference with Yugi's appearance?
So let's begin.
Also, Kaiba is shocked at the appearance of the Pharaoh, but then immediately passes it off because the commercial break is over.
I attack with the mighty Hitatsumi Giant.
Sorry, but we don't screw the rules because of money over here. Kaiba declares an attack with his first turn, which is illegal even in Season 1 rules. Hell, attacking directly isn't even introduced until Kaiba says so and later sees, oh, maybe that's why. Also, Kaiba declares his intention to attack with his monster, which doesn't even move upon appearance.
He's brought the monster on the card to life.
My only guess is the Pharaoh has never seen the holograms due to living in the Millennium Puzzle, because I call bullshit on Yugi having no idea about this. There's literally a regional tournament going on as we speak that uses these holograms, and you mean to tell me Yugi has never even seen it, much less heard of it?
Well, now it's my turn.
Considering Kaiba didn't declare his turn to be over, no, it's not.
Fireball attack!
The Pharaoh has never seen the holograms in Duel Monsters, yet immediately knows what his winged dragon's attack is called, unless he's making stuff up as he goes along. If Kaiba is the #1 ranked duelist, how would he let his life points get torn that easily? Magic and trap cards must not exist until the plot says so.
Are you alright?
He only lost 200 life points, what's the big deal? Weirdest character introduction of the show so far, and we've seen Bakura in the background already.
Exactly. It multiplies my monster's attack by 3.
This same negative energy card appears later on in the series, but with a completely different effect.
This card is useless.
Yugi knows all about Exodia the Forbidden One because his grandfather told him everything about it, but immediately discards one of the pieces as a useless card. And that was after he remembered his grandfather putting his heart into the deck. What a dick. Kaiba destroys Sandgan, which means Yugi can get a new monster from his deck to his hand, but because we're in the first episode, there's no such thing as card effects. Montage of attack after attack because we're on a time limit here. Just wait until later episodes when they decide to extend to 5 episodes for one duel.
Your deck is just as weak and feeble.
Kaiba manages to say that whole sentence in a clear voice despite his teeth being closed.
You will fall before my superior monster.
To be honest, I can't even hear what you're saying. You're very far away from me and there's a blue eyes white dragon making noise here.
Like the Millennium Puzzle?
I'm not even questioning how this conversation is even happening. The only thing I'm questioning is how Yugi is talking through the Pharaoh's mouth. Does Yugi have 2 sets of Exodia in his deck? Because the right arm was already shown in his hand 2 minutes ago. Dark Magician be like, screw the staff, I have the Force.
All 3 dragons are free to attack.
Kaiba intends to attack Yugi's life points directly despite the fact that the idea of direct attacks doesn't even exist yet. Also, during attack phases, only 1 monster can attack at a time, and with a direct attack rule not existing yet, the Pharaoh would need 3 monsters on the field and he's got none.
Don't lose focus, Yugi.
I'm surprised Yugi isn't saying, who the hell are you, when the Pharaoh guides him to keep his doubt in check. This entire scene was played out perfectly. The Pharaoh's confidence as he draws the final piece of Exodia, the terror on the face of Kaiba, and the destruction of the 3 blue eyes white dragons. Without a doubt, one of the most iconic scenes in the entirety of the series. Obviously, it wouldn't look that good cinematically, but Kaiba's life points wouldn't logically go down to 0 the moment Exodia was summoned, as simply drawing all 5 cards gives an automatic win without life points ever being affected. The Pharaoh blasts some evil ghost out of Kaiba revealed later on in the series, but I'm wondering where the hell that ghost even came from in the first place. If Kaiba was possessed throughout the first episode, how did that happen?
Yugi won.
I somehow know this, and that spells the end of my need for medical attention. Somehow.